wonderful, wonderful color.
Walt Disney presents
The wonderful world of color.
The Mystery of Edward Sims.
Exclusive. Dalton gang pulls daring daylight train robbery. Extra, read all about it. Extra, read all about it. Dalton gang pulls train robbery. You going out to investigate a case, Mr. Sneak?
No, I'm just going out to settle a little dispute between the McLiams and the Carsons over the ownership of a stray heifer.
Hey, Gallegher! We got it! It's here!
Where is it?
Just hold your horses. Whit waited for it all the way from St. Louis. A few more minutes won't hurt anything. Now, be careful with it. We don't want any accident before Whit gets a chance to see it. Here, this goes with it. Now, that's the instruction. Shows you how to work it.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck.
Come on, Gallegher, come on. I ordered that camera to keep up with the times. Maybe get a picture or two for the paper. Not to stand out here in the heat of the day for a family portrait.
We gotta see if it works.
Well, you've been at it
Whit, come on.
Okay, we're all ready.
Valentine! Come back here! You fleabag man!
Well, I guess I used a little too much flash powder, huh?
Yeah, not to mention darn near blowing up the town. Think you got it?
Oh, yes, sir. The book says proper illumination of subject is the first rule of good photography.
Does it say what it means by proper?
Whoa, whoa. How do you do, sir?
How do you do?
My name is Ephrem Killigrew. This is my son, Willem, and my daughter, Darcy.
Whitlaw White.
Mr. White.
This is my wife, Erm,
How to do?
and that's Gallegher.
Gallegher.
Can I give you a hand, Miss Darcy?
Yes, thank you.
We're Cornishmen, Mr. White.
Do you mean you came here all the way from England?
There are 5 families of us. The others are camped outside your village.
Well, if I might inquire, what brought you to Brimstone?
Land, Mr. White. We purchased over 400 acres of farming land, only a few kilometers from here.
We would like to welcome you to Brimstone, Mr. Killigrew, you and all the people who are with you as well.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if you could direct me to a Mr. Edward Sims. He's the gentleman who sold us our land.
There was a man from the land office at Burton Ridge asking for Mr. Sims earlier this morning. Fact is, I've lived here a good many years, but I don't know him, Mr. Sims.
But the man from the land office, Mr. Parker, is staying at the hotel.
If you'd like me to take you to him, maybe he's found Mr. Sims.
That would be very kind of you, sir.
Right down here.
Gallegher, you go with them. I'll watch this.
Morning, Jason.
Morning, Whit.
Ah, here comes Mr. Parker now. Mr. Parker, this is Mr. Killigrew.
How do you do, sir?
I've been expecting your arrival. That's what brought me here. I've just been out looking over that land you purchased. I don't know quite how to tell you this, but that land of yours is completely worthless.
What are you saying?
Well, it's a wasteland. Not a blade of grass and no water within miles.
You were the one who sent us title to the land.
Well, that's true, but you see, I'm only an employee and...
You had no right to sell us land that is worthless.
Willem,
Mr. Parker's not to blame, lad.
I want you to apologize to Mr. Parker.
Sorry, sir.
Well, I think I can understand how you feel, and I'll do everything I can to find this man and see that your money is returned.
You can see for yourself, sir. According to Mr. Sims' ad, the land is ideal for farming. It says the fences are fixed and water crosses the land.
I'm afraid, Mr. Killigrew, there is no Mr. Sims. The man who came into the land office just used that name to swindle you and your people.
Would you recognize this man if you saw him again?
I'm going to be staying over here in Brimstone for a few days, and I'm hopeful that I'm going to run into him.
Is there a constable or peace officer that we can report this to?
There's Sheriff Sneed, but he's out on a case. He should be back tonight, though.
Willem, I want you to stay over and speak to Sheriff Sneed. Tell him exactly what happened.
Yes, Father.
How do you go back and tell the people you've led halfway around the world to a new land that they've journeyed here for nothing? Come along, Darcy.
Wouldn't be too concerned about this now, William. I'm sure Sheriff Sneed will be able to locate this Mr. Sims.
What if he doesn't, Mr. White? We sold everything we owned to come out here. Our homes, our land, everything. It just seems to me that Mr. Parker could have looked over the land before it was sold to us.
Well, I'm afraid that's not the way the business of the land office operates. Mr. Parker's job doesn't require him to personally evaluate property before he transfers title, you know. I think you've accomplished about all you can here tonight, son. Why don't you get some rest? I'll tell Sheriff Sneed to come out to camp first thing in the morning. You want to use my rig?
No, thank you. I'd prefer to walk anyway. It's not very far. Good night, Mr. White.
Night.
Mrs. White.
Good night, William.
Josh, see that he's fed and watered and bedded down for the night. I'll be by first thing in the morning.
I'll see to it right off, Mr. Parker.
Parker. In here, Parker. Move easy like. I didn't expect you to turn up here. Now that you have, you know what's got to be done. I suppose you, just step over there.
Shot him. He's dead.
You killed him.
No, I didn't. I tried to stop the man who killed him. I saw him. He ran away.
You did it all right, boy. That's plain enough. Give me the gun.
No, I didn't do it. I tell you, I didn't do it!
What's going on here? What's all the commotion? Anybody got any idea who did it?
Idea. We know who did it.
We sure do.
Right. That's right. We saw him standing right there, big as life, with a gun in his hand.
He was standing right over Parker's body when we got here.
Now, wait a minute. You saw who standing there?
That young buck foreigner's been hanging around town all afternoon. Ain't that right, friends?
It wasn't bad enough that he attacked this poor man on the street. Now he's gone and killed him. Hasn't he?
I'll be needing volunteers for a posse to go after him. Any of you men feel like riding along? We'll meet over to my office.
Well, when you catch him, just string him up, because we got no use for no-account foreigners or murders around here.
That's right.
That's right. If and when we find him, we'll bring him right back here to stand a fair trial. You understand that?
You locked up page 1 yet?
About to.
What is it, Gallegher?
William just shot Mr. Parker.
You're a fool, Cain. What would you have done, Jason, if he'd come looking for you?
There must have been a better way to handle it, is all I can say.
Well, maybe it's not as black as we're painting it, Jason.
What are you talking about?
That immigrant kid that's been hanging around town. They caught him standing over the body with Parker's gun in his hand. Oh, he lit out. The sheriff and his posse's out looking for him right now.
This kid, did he get a look at you?
I don't know. I can't be sure.
Cain. Parker's death could lead to a federal investigation of the land sale and Edward Sims' identity.
So? We're in the clear.
Are we? And what if the kid recognized you? Hmm? You better get to him before Sneed does.
What makes you think I can find him before a whole posse's out there riding the hills looking for him?
Well, now, perhaps there is a way. These immigrants, now it stands to reason they must know where the kid is hiding. Now, if enough good people in this town were to be convinced that the immigrants are hiding a killer, they might be persuaded to take action.
We make him tell us where the kid's hiding. Kid shot down trying to run off.
I suggest you get to work on it.
Extra, read all about it. Blast exclusive. Land official murdered. Cornish immigrant William Killigrew sought by Sheriff Sneed and posse as killer.
Nothing about it. I say we ride out there, find out where that kid's hiding before there's another killing.
Now look here, Cain. The boy might be guilty, but I don't believe in taking the law into our own hands.
You keep on talking like that, Jeremiah, you'll find yourself carted off to Boot Hill alongside Parker.
And I say Mr. Cain's right. I say we don't take no more chances.
I say we leave the law up to Sheriff Sneed. That's what he's getting paid for.
That's what happens when you let people like that move in. A body's not even safe walking the streets after dark. Cornishman. That's what the paper says right there. See? Look at this right here.
Ah, you sell out?
Yeah.
Good. We'll have a second edition ready here in a few minutes.
What's troubling you, Gallegher?
I was just thinking about what we've done.
What we've done?
Well, everybody out there's read the paper, and they're all talking about the murder.
Well, Gallegher, you should know by now that the first duty of a good reporter is to gather the facts and to print them. You know, murder is news. It's only natural that people should talk about it.
Well, I know that, but...
In this case, you can't argue with the facts. Neither you nor this newspaper can be held responsible for what the people of this town think.
But some of those same people will be sitting on the jury when they find William and bring him into trial. They read what we printed. It's like he's already been tried.
Are you suggesting that we in any way slandered this story?
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, then just exactly what are you trying to say?
Well, I remember something a judge told his jury one time about a man being found innocent if there's reasonable doubt.
Well, you saw William yourself standing over the body with a gun in his hand.
But nobody actually saw him shoot Mr. Parker.
Why would he run away if he was innocent?
Maybe because he was scared. And he knew nobody'd believe him. I think I would have run away, too.
Well, where are you going?
There's something I gotta do.
Now listen, Gallegher, if you have any ideas about trying to...
Now, Whit. You should know how he feels. Seems to me I remember a long time ago you went through the very same thing.
Well, that was different.
Was it, Whit?
Morning, sir.
Why do you come here, young man?
Well, I just thought that...
They came here last night. The sheriff and his men, looking for my son.
Well, yes, sir, I know, but I thought...
They said he killed a man. The agent, Mr. Parker. No matter what your paper says, my son is not a killer.
Well, I was there right after it happened, and I heard William say he saw the man who shot Mr. Parker. If he could identify this man, maybe...
It would be Willem's word against his. We're strangers to this land. Who do you think the people would believe?
I read your newspaper this morning. The article about my brother with your name on it.
Well, I didn't mean for it to sound like I thought he was guilty. I just wrote what I saw, that's all.
No, that isn't all. The men who came here last night, they had guns. They're hunting my brother down like he's an animal or something. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Sheriff, look over there. Yeah.
Well, looks like he pulled up lame.
Yeah. Boys, that's Parker's horse, all right. So from here on, we're going to have to cover every canyon and thicket between here and the ridgeline. He couldn't have got far on foot. All right, man, let's spread out.
Hey, little girl. Better let me help you with that.
Please, sir. Stand aside.
All we want to do is give you a helping hand. Seems neighborly.
Get out of our way.
How come you don't do like the man says, Mr. Cain?
Now, we just can't stand by and let this little girl tote all that heavy stuff over to the wagon by herself.
Well, now, miss, that's a shame. Accidents do happen.
Better let him be, foreigner. Get on your way. Unless you want to stay on, tell us where that killer son of yours is hiding out.
Yeah, where is that kid, foreigner?
Right, where's that killer? My son is not a killer.
Well, maybe he's right, Mr. Cain. Maybe me and these good folks here, we just imagined we saw that foreign boy standing there with a smoking gun in his hand.
Right.
All right. Guess you can pick him up now.
Leave him alone.
You just peddle your papers, boy, and stay out of this.
You best do as they say, lad. And thank you for trying to help. Come along, Darcy.
Can't figure out why Cain is so much against him. What did they ever do to him?
Well, Gallegher, maybe when you're a little older, you'll find that there are bigoted, intolerant people in every town. Brimstone's no different.
Somehow I don't think that's Cain's real reason.
Hey, Whit, it's Cain and Blythe. They got a bunch of men all riled up, and the talk is they're going to ride out to the immigrant camp. I thought you might like to know.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
You all right, Gallegher?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, then go over to the livery stable and have them get my rig ready.
Sure.
Why? Where are you going, Whit?
I think I'd better go have a talk with Ephrem. Sheriff Sneed out of town, this thing could get out of hand. A lot of people get caught in the middle.
Now, Whit, promise me you'll be careful.
Afternoon, Mr. Killigrew.
Mr. White?
I know you're aware of the talk that's going on in town. And that's why I'm here.
I don't understand.
Well, there are a few hotheads among those people, and they've organized a vigilante group. And they're going to be riding out here pretty soon.
We're not leaving here, Mr. White. Not until my son's name is cleared.
Mr. Killigrew, if you know where William's hiding, I'm asking you to go to him and have him turn himself in to Sheriff Sneed. It might save a lot of bloodshed.
No, Mr. White. I'll not do as you ask. If we have to, we'll fight.
Gallegher, could I talk to you for a minute?
Sure.
I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what I said when you were here this morning. I didn't understand.
That's all right.
It's just that ever since I was a little girl, my grandfather used to read to me about America and about freedom and how everybody here has the right to say what he wants to. He used to say, Darcy, someday you'll go to this wonderful new land. And when you get older, you'll marry some fine young man and raise a family. I remember I promised to name my first boy child after him. This was my dream. I grew up with it. Only now...
Darcy, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Not yet, anyway. But somehow I'm going to prove to you that what your grandfather said was right. About America and freedom and everything. And if William's innocent, I'm going to prove that, too.
Seems you're a little ways from home.
What do you want here?
We want to know where that kid's hiding out. It's as plain and simple as that. If it's a fight you want, you'll find us obliging. Only you'll likely end up holding the short end of the rope.
There'll be no fight, Cain.
The way I see it, a man's got a right to defend himself.
Is that why you're all here, to defend yourselves?
I got no quarrel with you, but I'd advise you to get on back to town.
Well, I have something to say first. Not only to you, but to all of you who came here wearing guns. Dell, I remember the first day you came into Brimstone with your wife and 4 children. You didn't have a job or even the prospect of one. But the town took you in and fed you and your family until you were able to find work clerking for the express office. What would you have done if you'd have been accused of murder and torn from the arms of your family without even a chance of a fair trial? Kevin, you and your wife came from Ireland, looking for a place to live and to make your own home. Now you have your own feed and grain store and you're doing just fine. What if the same thing had happened to you? I understand Kate's expecting your firstborn. Does she know you're here? And why?
We heard enough of this talk. I say let's do what we came here to
Yeah,
do.
well, you're going to hear me out first. Or kill me. But then you'll have to explain to the law why you shot down an unarmed man. Frank, I don't think I have to say anything to you. Your father died wearing a U.S. Marshal's badge, fighting the same kind of lawlessness you're upholding here.
Thank you, sir.
Gee, Whit, you were great.
Yeah, well, I think we better be getting back, Gallegher. We've still got a newspaper to get out.
So long, Darcy.
Goodbye, Gallegher.
And don't forget what I told you.
I'm certainly glad that nobody was hurt. Now, I know that you're hungry, and I've been saving your supper for you.
I'll put the rig away first. I'll be right back.
Thank you, Gallegher.
What did you want me to do? Take on the whole bunch by myself?
You know what you have to do. Just keep in mind that your neck may very well be at stake.
Not only my neck, Jason.
It's a good enough likeness. But I still don't know how I ever let you talk me into going along with such a far-fetched idea.
What would you do if you heard Mr. Gore say Cain's neck was at stake?
Well, for one thing, it proves absolutely nothing. He could have been talking about anything. And while we're on the subject, I don't like the idea of you eavesdropping.
I'll be back from the land office as soon as I can. It won't do any harm, even if I am wrong.
Here he comes.
I'll go back later.
Mr. Cain?
Where is he?
Where is who?
Gallegher.
Oh, he's probably out trying to dig up a news story.
You know how it is with newspaper people, Mr. Cain. Our work is never done. What did you want to see Gallegher about?
waiting for me, young man?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, if you work here.
Work here? It'll be 17 years come April. Come in. Now. Well, what is it you wanted?
Oh, well, you see, ma'am, I'm a reporter from the Brimstone Blast.
A reporter? I see.
Yes, ma'am. And I was wondering if you've ever seen this man before.
Oh, yes, he's come into the office, a few months ago.
Was his name Edward Sims?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. But as I recall, he was representing a Mr. Sims in a land sale. Hi, darling. But I don't recall that he gave his name. It was poor Mr. Parker who handled the sale for him.
Thanks a lot, miss.
Here you are. Young man, well, you're quite welcome, I'm sure. A reporter.
Well, it's half right anyway. The lady at the land office said Cain didn't pretend being Mr. Sims, but he did represent Mr. Sims in selling the land.
Well, then we still don't know who the mysterious Mr. Sims is.
It still doesn't prove that Cain killed Parker.
But don't you see, it gives him a motive. Mr. Parker could have identified Cain.
Where are you going?
Mr. Killigrew's got to listen to us now. If William can recognize this picture, Cain is the man he saw that night, it'll prove Cain's the killer.
What? That boy.
Whit, are you sure that he's still just a boy? Oh, dear, maybe we shouldn't have let him go.
Blythe and I turned this town upside down looking for that kid from the newspaper, Gallegher. I tell you, he isn't here.
Have you given any thought to why he took that photograph of you?
Probably wants to get it to that immigrant kid.
And if he identifies you, the case goes to court. You'll be subpoenaed. There'll be a lot of questions asked. Neither of us would like that now, would we?
It's Gallegher.
I think if you follow him, he may lead you to that immigrant kid. In which case, all of our problems will be solved.
Yeah. Well, what do we do about Gallegher?
If I were in your position, I wouldn't want a boy running loose who could send me to the gallows.
Where's your father?
Oh, he'll be back soon. He went out late this afternoon to look over the land that we bought to see if there's any chance of farming it.
I think I got the evidence that can clear your brother.
Gallegher, are you sure?
Well, almost sure. You see, this is a picture of a man I think killed Mr. Parker. And all I gotta do is get it to your brother to identify.
And you want me to tell you where he's hiding?
Yeah.
I'll take you there.
Well, I don't think you oughta.
I'm going with you, Gallegher.
Okay, if you want to, but we better hurry. That's Sheriff Sneed and the posse. Maybe we ought to go tell him what we found out.
Oh, no, Gallagher, please, not yet. Not until we're sure.
All right.
William. Gallagher wants to talk to you. It's important.
Come on, then.
Yes, that's the man, all right. I wouldn't forget his face, ever.
And that's all the proof we need. Come on, Sheriff Sneed's camp just down the trail. Be best if I took your gun. It's Cain. Hope Sheriff Sneed hears that and comes running.
Figures it ain't nobody out rabbit hunting this time of night.
Right about that. Let's go, boys.
Might as well come on out. There's no place to run.
I guess you know everything. Why couldn't you have stuck to peddling your papers?
Tell him. Tell him you were the one who shot Mr. Parker.
I had no choice. I had to.
And you're not Mr. Sims? Then who is?
Oh, there they come.
Well, Mr. Killigrew, your boy's in the clear now. We got a dying confession from the killer.
Thanks to Gallegher.
I think we have a lot to be thankful to young Gallegher for.
Sheriff Sneed, you're hurt.
Oh, it's just a graze, Mrs. White. All in the line of duty.
What are you doing out here?
Well, we just thought we'd come out and, well, naturally, we...
Well, what Whit is trying to say is that we were worried about you. Now I guess it's time for everybody to get a good rest.
That's from all of us, Gallegher.
I guess I am a little tired.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Good night.